Hi there, welcome to ProtoMech. In this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the features of our web-based visualization tool, as well as how you can create your own discovered circuits. So here we are on the web page, and you can see here, if I click this drop down, we have a couple of examples of various circuits that we discovered and that we showed in our paper. So this is from figures 3 and 4. I'm first going to walk you through some of the features on our website, and then I'm going to walk you through how you can actually discover your own circuits. So if you go over here to the left, you can see that we have 6 layers from ESM. And on this bottom part, we have the sequence that we can explore. For a very quick overview, you can click all of these layers, and you can see all of the latents that we see that are activating. If I click on feature info of one of these layers, we can see exactly what amino acids are being lit up for our sequence. Below here are going to be the top activating sequences from SwissProt. Let's say I'm particularly interested in figuring out if there's a pattern. You can also hit the alignment button over here. You can hit go to center. And what it's going to do is it's going to align all of the SwissProt sequences by their max activation. So hopefully with this, we're able to detect some more trends. Over here, if we click the influences tab as well, we will be able to see all the various connections that are coming in through our edge weight calculation. So for example, if we go into, let's say, layer 3, and I open feature info, and I click on the influences, I should be able to see the incoming connections. So I'm going to have 10 of these over here, or we're going to display the top 10. And I also have the outgoing connections as well. You can also feel free to scroll through the sequence that you're interested in, and you have a per amino acid breakdown. Obviously, some sequences are a little bit large, so we also have this canvas below, which is going to be able to summarize everything that we see. So for example, let's say that we're interested in this particular latent. We're going to click on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this Add to Canvas button. Now what this is going to do is this is going to drop it down into my canvas down here, which is going to allow me to see kind of global trends that ProtoMech is learning for my specific sequence. If I then detect that there's a specific feature that I want to label, you can also right-click, and you can also hit Add Name, and you can add whatever name that you would like into the sequence. And you also have the opportunity to right-click and just to show the lane information that we saw before. And of course, if you don't like this, you can always delete that. So down below, for all of our example circuits, we have all of the graphs that we analyzed in our paper from figures 3 and 4. Again, you'll also notice that there's a slider button here, which will allow you to show more weights. You can feel free to slide it as you see fit, depending on how your computer runs. Now, let's say we want to discover our own circuits. What we can do is we can go hit this code button over here, which will take you to our GitHub. And from our GitHub, you'll be able to find our paper, our web-based visualizer, as well as our interactive Google Colab notebook. So this Google Colab notebook is how we're going to be able to run if we want to get a new circuit. So for example, it's going to walk you through a couple of steps. First, it's going to make sure that there's a GPU from Colab. It's going to install whatever packages. So it's going to clone ProtoMech from our GitHub and download whatever models or data that we might need. So in this case, I've already run through everything. In this step 1.5, we have the option to discover our own circuit. In this video, we're not going to be discovering our own circuit, but we leave a pretty detailed protocol down below. The gist of what you need is you need to have a data set, either a classification data set or a regression data set. And you walk through these steps here, and it will save all of the files that you need in this content experiments folder. Let's say we have a circuit that we already have, and we want to run it on a completely brand new sequence. What are we going to do? So that's where step 2 and step 3 comes from. So in step 2, what we're going to do is we're going to add any sequences that we're going to want to compute. So in this case, we've specified that all of the sequences should be of the same length. So the ideal case of where you might want to add more sequences is, let's say I'm doing like a deep mutational scanning assay, and I'm trying to figure out the effect of mutations. So that would be where you would do multiple sequences. If you're just interested in binary classification of sequences, you would just input these one at a time. So in this case, I'm going to use the example that we have here. So in this case, my example is from GB1. So the first sequence is going to be my wild type sequence of GB1. The second sequence is going to be my high fitness GB1. And my third sequence is going to be my low fitness GB1. And these were the sequences that we analyzed for figure 4 of the paper. Now what we're going to do after we add these sequences is we're going to go into step 3, which is going to generate our circuit files. So in this case, we have a couple of options that we have. The first one is circuit. If you do not have a circuit that you don't have to analyze, and you also don't have a data set, that's totally fine. You can just leave this optional, and you can just leave it blank. You can also feel free to find a list of pre-discovered circuits here, which goes back to our GitHub. So in this case, I want to run on a GB1 circuit, which is what we do for figure 4 of our paper. So that's going to be this tag here. And you'll be able to find all these tags again at the link here. You also have the option to upload your custom circuit. So let's say you created your circuit using step 1.5. You would then have the option to upload it. We're also going to specify what output directory we want and the external path that we want. So let's go ahead and run on this. So what this code block is basically going to do is it's going to take all of my 3 sequences. It's going to feed them into ProtoMech, and it's going to grab the top activating features that we have. After it does that, then it's going to compute the edge weights. So in step 1, we're going to do our multi-sequence analysis. So this is going to feed directly into ProtoMech these 3 sequences, and we're first going to identify what features we're interested in analyzing. After that, we're then going to compute these edge weights for each sequence. So this may take some time depending how long your sequence is. Because GB1 is a really short sequence, this is going to be really quick. But as you go to maybe like 300 amino acids or so, it will start to take a couple of minutes. Everything should be runnable. Just make sure that your Colab is using a GPU specifically. After we basically wait for all of these sequences, what we're going to do is we're going to go into our files, and we're going to go into experiments, and we're going to be able to see all of the files that get created under GB1. So right now it's processing sequence 2, just finished, and now it's going to go to sequence 3. We're going to go into GB1, and basically what it's going to have a couple of files. If you don't want to use our visualizer and you prefer a very text high-level summary of what's going on, we have these top sequences as well as this analysis differential. So our top sequences, text files, are going to have the top 5 latents from every single layer. And the differential is going to tell you, okay, what are the maximal activating latents that is different between sequence 2 and 1 and then 3 and 1 as well. And each of these folders is what you're actually going to need in order to be able to run with our visualizer. So it's going to generate these 4 files. So what you're going to do is you're going to download all of these 4 files onto your computer. And after you finish downloading all of them, you will have the option to go to the website and to upload them. So if we go back to the website, we're going to hit this Load Custom Circuit button, and we're going to drop our files. So we're going to drop our 4 files that we just grabbed from Colab. We're going to load the circuit, and this is going to be the circuit that you can then analyze. So then you can feel free to use all of the tools that we talked about, such as like feature info, going to the layer. You can feel free to add to Canvas all of these features. And then you'll be able to explore the rest of the website. So we hope this video was informative and gives you a high-level overview of exactly what you need to do in order to run with ProtoMech, and we hope you enjoy our tool.